大家好，我们是
LLS different college, and and we are supported by the Ministry of Education in Taiwan, and we are doing this project about the issues of youth losing to believe in themselves when they enter in the first career, and problems like women and men have rights are not equal in their workplace. So we want to solve problems like that.
Okay. So just so you know, I've been contacted by two groups like you already from Taiwan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've written to me. It's very cute. And I had a couple of Zoom with them also, but that was like a few months ago. But yeah, it's so funny. I'm getting all these messages from Taiwan.
Oh, your project looks so cool, and we really wanted to know more.
Thank you. So you had some questions for me?
Yeah.
Yes, we have prepared some questions.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I think we can introduce ourselves a little bit right now.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So so my name is Yuni, and here are my team members. Tiffany.
Yeah, I'm Tiffany.
Yeah.
I'm Joyce. Hello.
Hi.
I'm Xavier. Good morning.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I think I can start my questions right now. The first question is because in Taiwan, for the women in Taiwan, they will encounter more obstacles in the workplace than men. So I want to ask, like, does this situation happen in your country?
In Singapore, you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely Singapore, and I think Taiwan also, there's still a long way to go in terms of reaching gender equality. We should check on the exact percentage, but I believe that we're definitely still, if you look at the score, I think for Singapore, it's still, we're still very far from having enough women in leadership positions or on boards of companies. I'm not familiar with all the numbers in Taiwan. I know that on one side, you are quite advanced with the LGBTQ, right? Because you legalized the marriage in 2019, right? I think it's the union is legal. So that's a big deal actually in the region. You guys stand out. But for women's rights, I guess, in many parts of Asia, it's a little bit different depending on where you work or live. For example, in the Philippines, where I grew up, it's actually quite gender equal. There are many women in the Philippines. Philippines and New Zealand are the two most gender equal societies in Asia Pacific. So they have, and interestingly enough, you can see there's a female prime minister in New Zealand. The Philippines has had 2 women presidents. But in many parts like Japan, Korea, and South Korea, it's definitely not so equal. So I think depending on many countries in Asia where you work, it really is a different situation because it's very diverse. Definitely Singapore is not there yet, although they're trying to push for about 30% of women in senior board, positions, representation. So it's still something that everybody has to advocate for, men and women.
Yeah, but I think maybe we'll start from a little step. So maybe after that, it will like a big change after that.
Yeah.
So
sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry. Your next question. Yeah.
So the next question is: we have searched your website and we saw like there are a workshop and the content is like a leadership train and entrepreneurship train, and we want to know like is everyone can attend this workshop, or actually you need to be one of your organization's members?
So generally we work either with partners in Singapore. So before the pandemic, the workshops were live, of course, they were live workshops. And when we were still doing our expeditions, we would conduct workshops live, of course, in the different women's homes that we would visit. So to be honest, we haven't been doing many workshops online, so it's not really possible to join at the moment.
Yeah, because I think due to the pandemic, most of the organization will face these problems. Like us, but we are still a little team right now, so it's harder to us to help the online workshop. Yeah.
So I think the way I've been approaching it is I've continued to accept interviews about this, like either with students like you or on different panels, that I get invited to talk on, or even the other time I got asked to talk by one of the universities here in Singapore about diversity, equity, and inclusion. So what I try to do is find other ways to advocate for progress and gender equality through my speaking engagements and different opportunities, either to write articles or to talk, to do talks.
Yeah, I think different article will help us a lot. So,
can we follow up and ask what's the leadership and entrepreneurship in like your workshop?
So this is usually when we would involve our partners and teammates, because I have a community of women, right, that are quite active with me and who also come on my expedition. So they all have different backgrounds and careers. So what I ask them to do is to give their time and to share like a presentation about their own career journey, so that they can share the learnings, what industry they chose, how was it for them when they started their careers, what were some of the challenges, what are the learnings, and so usually it's like almost like a sharing session where women share their career path, and then depending on the specialty, like some women work in banking, some women work in tech, some women work in fashion, depending on what the people are interested in, then they ask, when they look at the biography of the ladies, they say, I would love to hear about this person's career or this person. It makes them see other opportunities, other career options, and people can always share. Everybody has a story to share, right? Everybody has a story, and so those kind of sharings are quite interesting for other women who may be in less privileged position. When they see those other women who have done well in their careers, it gives them something to look up to, something to be inspired by. It's important to have that, to have some goals to shoot for, to see, she's succeeded, she did this, how did she do that, how did she get promoted, what were some of the challenges. So those examples are really important to help women in leadership along the way, to have examples, especially for young women.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So it sounds like inspiring, and maybe during this project, so they will feel like, there are people feel like me, so they will feel better.
Yeah, and anything is possible, any dream is possible. There are many ways to approach challenges, right? So it's good to listen to other women's stories, because it shows you that there's so many examples of people who have found solutions for their careers, or because if we don't have that, it's difficult to know how to go forward. I think for women sometimes, for young women, they may see examples and they say, I don't want that. I don't want to have just my career and no balance at home. Or they might say, I want to have a career. I don't want to, it depends what people want. But it's good to see different examples and to talk to women who have a bit more experience, who've done it, and who have had challenges along the way, because there's a lot of sharing and support that can come that way too.
Yeah, I think we all need like support from other people, so it will make us more powerful. So I think this can relate it to, I saw you have some activity like crossing this desert and SUP board. Is this like inspiring activity?
So these expeditions are quite challenging, so there's training involved, and they're usually something a little bit difficult, so that when we go on these expeditions, we also set up a fundraising page, and we choose one of our charity partners, and we raise funds for them, so that people, our friends, our community, they will donate, because it doesn't look like a holiday, it looks more like a challenge, If it's just a holiday, nobody's gonna donate, right? It has to look difficult.
Yeah.
It has to show that you're really going beyond, you're going outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah,
so
let's challenge ourselves.
Exactly. So the next trip that we will do probably will be next year when we can travel again. We had to cancel this last 2 years, unfortunately, but I think it will come back, it will come back. Even if we do one a year, I'm sure we can manage to do one a year with Women on a Mission. I don't know if you know, I have another NGO also called Her Planet Earth, which also takes women on expeditions, but the trips are a little bit more focused on the environmental issues. But we also support women who are affected by climate change. So these trips probably will come back next year.
Yeah, and you according to like where they founded the foundation, right? So
sorry.
So the place, like how do you decide where to go?
Oh yes, yes. So this is like the bucket list, So I have many places. I have many places that I love to like a dream of going, So even now, even though I've been quite a few places, there's still many places I want to go. So I always research. I always do my research. I talk to tour operators who are specialists in this area. So our next trip is actually to Kyrgyzstan. We're gonna go to Kyrgyzstan. It was supposed to be last year. And it doesn't look like it's going to be this year, so it'll probably be next year, Kyrgyzstan. So we already have 12 women signed up. It's a very beautiful part of Central Asia. And so I'm sure we'll always find many places because there's so many places to go. There's still so many, places I haven't seen.
So like
So is it like, So is it like you go on a adventure and during the adventure you'll donate some money for the charity?
So it depends. So when we set up the expedition, we set up a fundraising page before we go, and we have a team target, and we raise funds first before we go as we do our training, preparation, and all that. And then this money usually goes to one of our charity partners. And sometimes the money will go to the same country where we're going, and sometimes it doesn't have to be. It can also be somewhere else because we support women survivors of war. And so those war regions are more located in about 8 countries, like Rwanda, Democratic Republic of Congo, Afghanistan, Iraq. So we don't necessarily trek there, but we may donate the money there. But when we go into a country, let's say we're going to Mongolia, and the money we raise goes to a woman from a war zone, but we still visit a women's group in Mongolia, and we still go and we do workshops and we donate directly to the charity. We'll do a small donation on top of what we have fundraised as a team. So we have many ways to do it, because sometimes our priority is really to support women survivors of war. That's number one, But for example, when we went to Bhutan, we raised funds for a charity in Bhutan, and we visited the charity and we donated the money directly to Bhutan, and we met everyone. It was a refuge for women survivors of domestic abuse. So it really depends. Sometimes we will donate to the country we're going, and sometimes we will donate to a woman in a program for women in a war zone, and then we will still go and visit and make a small donation. Like when we went to Iran, we visited the women's kind of shelter, and we also made a little donation on top of what we fundraised for women in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah, so the donation depends on where country you go, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
This is so cool.
So every expedition is a little bit different. It's customized a little bit different,
Yeah.
Oh, what about does the donation includes the fee over there, like a register fee or like the trip fee?
No, so every lady who comes on the trip has to pay for her own cost.
Oh.
So yes. So the women who come on my trips are all volunteers. They pay for their own trip, and they have to fundraise. So usually, So it's usually women who are quite successful, who can afford to pay for a trip like that. They have a career usually. Not all. Some of them are also stay-at-home moms who have a husband who can pay, and sometimes they're young also. They have a student. We've had students who maybe the parents paid. So the condition is really that you pay for your own travel cost, and whatever you fundraise is donated to charity. It's not to pay for your travel.
Oh, so does the people, the women go to this trip, they donate the foundation, or actually the donation come from the country they go?
Donate the foundation. So every woman who comes on my trip has to set up a fundraising page which is connected to the team page, and she has to fundraise with her friends. I never put a limit. I only have a team target. I have a team target, and I don't say you have to raise minimum this, but we have a team target. So let's say we're 12 women, and let's say we say, okay, let's raise 100,000 Singapore dollars. And so some women raise $5,000, $10,000, and other women, maybe if they're younger, maybe they don't have so many contacts, they might raise a bit less. It's okay. I never put a limit. I just say you do your best, and I teach them how to fundraise, how to write the message to their friends. And we also do small fundraising events in Singapore. We will get together, we will partner with artists who donate their art. We'll do different events. We'll do a film screening, we'll do a talk where we have a few auction items, like holiday auction items and things. There are many ways to fundraise, right?
Yeah. I think you let them know how to fundraise before
I teach them. I teach them. I give them some guidance because I have a lot of experience in fundraising.
Oh. We want to learn it too. because now we're still a little team, and we need to cooperate with other people, so we are still learn from it.
Did your fundraise, did the donators got any feedback or anything exchanged?
The donors or the beneficiary? So no, the donors just ask their friends to donate. So they donate, on the online platform, and the money goes to the charity. Yeah. So for example, you set up there's a website we used to use, justgiving.com. If you look at justgiving.com, you can set up your individual fundraising page. You can choose the charity. So we select a charity that we have a relationship with, one of the charity partners that you see on our website.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, that makes sense. So, so I have searched you raise fund to, as you said before, you raise fund to help women suffering war or abuse experience, and apart from you sharing story or workshop, they can sharing our stories, or they can relive themselves. So are there any activity will make them more?
So we also have in Singapore, we have a Big Sister program.
Big Sister program.
Yes. So if you look on our website, let me see. Are you looking at Women on a Mission website?
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you where to find it.
Big woman.
So if you look under our impact, and you go to PERTAPIS, go down to PERTAPIS.
Yeah.
This is a girls' home in Singapore, and we have been we started a Big Sister program for this home for the last 4 years. Actually a bit longer, I think, where we match women in Singapore who are, successful and have a career and all that. We match them with a little sister. We prepare them. These are girls who come from poor families in Singapore, or even from homes that are broken. Some of them have been sexually abused, and so are a little bit fragile. And so we just find them big sisters to be their friends and their mentors. And so we've been doing this for 4 years. So this is a nice community activity that you can do to help young women who are from from poorer backgrounds. So every country has those homes. I'm sure Taiwan, if you research, has also those children's home, girls' homes. From kids who don't have money, or from families that are broken. Sometimes the parent is in prison. So these are girls that really need help, and so this is a very nice program that we've been running. And every year I bring more big sisters and I prepare them. I have a partner who's a psychotherapist, just to prepare them how to have the relationship, because these are girls who have gone through some trauma, a little bit of trauma. the young ones, you know. But then we pair them up, and then they take them out on special outings. Once every 2 weeks, they go to the movie, or they go biking, or they do something. They become their friends. Yeah, it's a very nice program. And this is a beautiful way to help, the community and to help young women. Because, some of these relationships, like one of the first batch, the big sister, she left Singapore, she moved to Australia, but she's still keeping in touch with her little sister, and she's trying to sponsor her to come to study in Australia. Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah, sometimes it can continue like that, and it's a very special relationship because it's somebody who's not family, it's somebody who's neutral, who they can share their problems if they want. They respect the privacy, right? They don't judge. But
they help each other.
Yeah, they have each other, and then the big sister will, keep an eye out for the little sister, encourage her, guide her, give her hope,
Yeah,
it's a beautiful program. Yeah, it's a very nice program.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
So this program doesn't also have donation like the.
So sometimes we raise funds. We do events. We raise funds. So one time what we did was we found we raised funds, and we paid for art therapists to come and help those girls. Yeah. So
like painting, so you feel relief.
Painting, drama. They have many different ways of helping the girls deal with the trauma. So the money we raised at one of our events went to pay for the art therapist to come into the home and to help the girls, because you have to be a professional therapist to do that well.
To do the therapy.
It's a real profession. It's a profession that you need to be licensed and trained how to do art therapy.
Yeah.
So that it says in the website a little bit. Yeah,
that's so cool. So I think we have asked all the questions we prepared.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Everything okay? Yeah, did I answer all your questions?
Yes, it's really helpful.
It's really nice to see that there's so many projects coming out of Taiwan. Yeah, because I told you you're my third group. You're number 3 group.
Oh, really?
And it's nice because it looks like it's a topic that the government is also encouraging you to learn about, right?
Women rights.
To try to help equality for women, because that means that Taiwan will be more successful if there are more women who have equality. Although you have a very successful prime minister also, right?
Yes.
Yes. Very good. A lot of people respect her. Yeah. So what's the percentage in Taiwan for gender equality? What's the gap? Or how many women on boards do you have? What percentage of women on boards do you have in Taiwan's top companies? Do you know?
I haven't.
I'm sure you can find it. Yeah. I will have a look, because actually I have a document, the gender gap report. Have you seen that? The 2021 gender gap report. There's some information there actually. Let me see if I have that.
Oh, thank you.
Because I'm sure you can find it online. Yeah, it should be there.
Yeah. It says that in Taiwan there are more than 43% of women they got master's.
Yeah, that's quite good actually. So you guys are more advanced than Singapore. It's very good.
Yeah, but for the higher position, it's less than 8%.
Okay.
So it's pretty.
Yeah, it's still low on the. And that's a normal thing. Usually, there's in junior positions. Usually, it's more equal. Then as you go up, and there's a leadership position, it's harder for women. They need more support. They need more opportunities. They need the laws, also the law, to be more encouraging, right? And sometimes. Does Taiwan put a quota? Do they put a quota on companies to have a certain percentage of women on boards or not? Because some countries, like the northern European countries, they have a quota. But in Singapore, we don't have a quota.
Oh.
Have you heard of that? The quota?
We have quota in votes.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the quota target?
I think we have saved some seats for women and for the indigenous people.
That's great.
Yeah, and also for for those who are not in
LGBTQ and also disabilities, right?
disabilities. But I don't think LGBTQ will it will be soon issues also.
Oh, that's very good. Well, Taiwan is doing very well like that. I think you can be proud of yourself. It's good that you keep pushing. It's good that you keep pushing. Okay, wonderful. So I hope I answered all your questions.
Can I ask why do you
Nice to meet you, everyone. Take care. You can connect with me on LinkedIn if you want. LinkedIn.
Okay.
You can connect there with me or even my Instagram. I have an Instagram also.
Oh, the title is the same as the organization's name.
Same as my name. Look for me on Instagram and LinkedIn. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
See you.
Okay. See you.
Bye.
Have a nice day.
Bye.
Oh yeah. Can we?
Sure.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Can we take a picture with you?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye bye.
See you. Bye. Have a good weekend. Bye.